There's your thought for the day. So section 6.2, we're going to be able to use proportions to find missing sides, be able to use proportions to find scale, and solve multi-step problems using proportions. So in the diagram, it's saying the ratio of Mn to Rs is the same as the ratio of Np to St. We're going to write 4 true proportions. So they've got circles around the first ratio and squares around the second. So to write 4 true proportions, we could plug in for Mn and Rs and Np and St, we get 8 over 10 is equal to 4 over x. That's one proportion we could write from this. Okay, you can switch things up. You can use do the reciprocals. You can flip both of them. We flip the 8 and 10 and make it 10 over 8. If we flip that side, we have to flip this side. So it becomes x over 4. Cross multiply solve, you get the same thing for x. Another thing you can do is interchange the means. So we take this, our original statement, and we interchange the 10 and the 4. Those can be interchanged. Because when you cross multiply, you're going to be multiplying them by themselves anyway, right? So we interchange the 4 and 10. Likewise, we can interchange the x and the 8 and leave the other numbers in the same place. If they didn't do that, that would be the 4th, okay? So your answer there is 5. Any questions? 8x equals 40, divide 40 by 8, you get 5. All right. Example 2. In the diagram, BD is to DA as BE is to EC. That's a proportion. We've got numbers for AD, BE, and EC. We don't have a number for BD. How could I represent BD if the whole side BA is X? What expression could I use to set BD equal to? All right, so if this whole side is X and AD is 3, I could take X minus 3, and that would be what BD is. So BD is X minus 3 right there. All right? So now we can solve. So we would have X minus 3 over DA over 3 is equal to BE, so 18 over EC 6. Cross multiply, solve. So we'd have 6 times X minus 3 is equal to 3 times 18. Then we simplify. We get 6x minus 18 equals 54. 6x equals 72. X equals 12. The answer is 12. Any questions? Okay. So the answer is not 12. What do I need to do to find BD? X is 12. The answer is x minus 3, right? X minus 3 equals 12 minus 3. So the answer should be 9, not 12. We have to go back and plug back in. Okay, everybody have it? Very good. So we do solution. Here we have the blueprint shows a scale drawing of a cell phone. The length of the antenna on the blueprint is 5 centimeters. The actual length of the antenna is 2 centimeters. What is the scale of the blueprint? So a scale drawing is a drawing that is the same shape as the object it represents. So what would be the scale of the blueprint? So when we do the scale, we take the ratio of the length of the drawing to the actual length and rewrite it so that the denominator is 1. So the length of the blueprint goes on top. The actual length goes on bottom, so it's 5 to 2. Right? We divide both sides by 2, and we'll get 2.5 over 1. So the scale is 5 to 2. Okay, but you always put a scale over 1, so you just divide the top and the bottom by whatever number's on the bottom. Divide by 2, top and bottom, we get 2.5 to 1 for the scale. Any questions? Okay. All right, scale of the map and the distance to the right is 1 inch to 26 miles. Find the actual distance from Pocahontas to Algona. So the first thing we would have to do is we'd have to measure how much on the map that distance is, right? So we use the ruler. The distance from Pocahontas to Algona on the map is 1.25 inches. We're going to let x equal the actual distance in miles. All right, so then we can set up a proportion. We would say 1.25 inches, the distance on the map, is to x in miles as then my scale. 1 inch is to 26 miles. as long as I can have different units in my ratio, as long as I'm comparing. If I compare inches to miles on the left, I compare inches to miles on the right. And now it's a matter of cross multiplying and solving. So we cross multiply and solve. And we're going to get 32.5 miles. Questions? Everybody has it? Okay. You buy a 3D scale model of Reunion Tower in Texas. The actual building is 560 feet tall. Your model is 10 inches tall. The diameter on your dome of your scale model is 2.5 inches. What's the diameter of the actual dome? Okay? So who thinks, how can we set this up? What ratio would we start out with? Okay, we're going to take the height ratios. Okay, the height ratios, that's a linear distance. So we could take, let's put the actual one on top. It doesn't matter. You could do the scale on the model on top over actual, as long as you did that on the right. But let's just do it in the order they gave us the information. So we take 560 feet over 10 inches, and we're going to set that equal to, diameter is a linear distance as well, so it's going to be the same, have the same ratio. So we would take the diameter of the actual dome would be x feet, and the diameter on your scale model is 2.1 inches. Cross multiply and solve. So cross multiply and solve. So if we cross multiply and solve, go ahead and do that work. My iPad, there it goes. Okay, here we go. So we cross multiply and solve. My iPad's not working very good. There we go. Okay, so we'd have, they did it the other way. They put inches on top and feet on the bottom. Like I said, it doesn't matter. You cross multiply, you get 117.6 inches would be the diameter of the model. So 117.6 feet would be the actual distance for the diameter. Any questions? Everybody has it? Okay. B, how many times as tall as your model is the actual building? All right, if we're going to do that, then we have to get the units to be the same. So we've got the actual height is 560. The model's height is 10. We've got to convert to 560 to inches. to tell how many times greater the actual one is to the model. So we would multiply the 560 feet times 12. That's what they're doing here. They're using unit analysis, 12 inches in 1 foot, right, to get rid of the feet on top and have inches. So we multiply the 560 times 12, and we're left with 672. And we divide 672 by 10. That's not right. We'd have 600. We'd have 672 over 10. Unless they reduced. Okay, they divided it out. I'll take that back. Okay, so they went ahead. They took 560 times 12, and then they divided it by 10. They did that all in one step. So we would have the actual building is 672 times as tall as the model. Any questions? Okay. Two cities are 96 miles from each other. The cities are 4 inches apart on the map. Find the scale of the map. All right. So the scale of the map, we're going to put the map over the actual. So you would start out with the work on this, and we take 4 inches in a second. My iPad's stalling out here. I don't know what the issue is. Alright, so we take the map 4 inches over the actual 96 miles, and then we have to make the one of the units 1, so let's divide by 4, and we would have that is equal to 1 over 24, 1 inch over 24 miles. Okay. Everybody have it? Okay. Now I would say the general rule, you're saying, well, you're probably thinking before we made the bottom one. Okay? Whichever number is smaller, that's the one you should divide by. Okay, the 4 is smaller than the 96, so we'll divide by 4 and get 1 over 24. Okay, our goal is to have one of our units be 1. Right? So let's take we divide by 4, and we get the 96. 1 over 24 inches. Okay, then it asks, your friend has a model of the Union Tower that is 4 inches, 14 inches tall. What is the diameter of the dome in your friend's model? Okay, so you have to go back to the example about the dome. Go ahead and figure this out on your own. Okay, should be similar to what we did before. We just have a different diameter. Okay, so do this one on your own. See if you can figure out the diameter of the dome on your friend's model. All right, here's how we could set this up. Oh, they don't give us the numbers. Okay, so let's see. You guys will have to help me out. What was the actual height of the tower? 560. Okay, so we have 560. It's 560 feet tall. And what was the height of and his model is 14 inches tall. All right. And that is the same as, what was the diameter of the actual diameter of the dome? We figured that out. What was it? 117 point something? 117.6. feet. And we have to figure out the diameter of the dome in my friend's model. All right. When we cross multiply and solve, you should get 2.95. All right. 2.95 for x when you cross multiply. All right. Any questions? All right.